what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy it.
One guy who is at least, maybe like half a decade away from the Senior Bowl would be the number one quarterback in the nation for 2027 or 26?
27. He's the number 3 overall prospect in 27. I think number 1 quarterback.
And that is Dunham quarterback Elijah Haven. Elijah Haven has just signed a prep NIL deal with the Matt Bowers Auto Group. Press releases yesterday. I'm talking about how excited they are to be a part of this. People's wheels immediately start spinning. And Matt Bowers, very powerful, very big Saints fan. Raised a huge stink after no call, all that sort of stuff. He was one of the guys behind the protest. Remember when the Saints fans all protested the Super Bowl? Nobody watched. He threw a big second-line party or whatever. But it turns out Matt Bowers is an Ole Miss fan. So here, Ole Miss NIL already trying to get their hooks into Haven. Look, let me be clear about this up front. Hell yeah, Elijah Haven. Get your money, okay? The market continues to show you that they are willing to pay to get talent and to get players. But, Jake, I did have a question for you because you might know more about it than I do. In Mizzou, if you're a high school player, you can start getting NIL, but isn't it only if you commit to Mizzou? Is that how the state law works, or am I wrong here?
No, so I think it's not if you commit to Mizzou, but I do think with Missouri being like the only really major football program, that's where kind of their advantages come from.
Okay. Well, anyway, Louisiana has a similar rule where high schoolers can do NIL because, of course, the only reason you couldn't in the past were because of NCAA rules to make you ineligible. No longer the case. Shout out Haven. Do you think this works as a tactic to give Ole Miss a leg up?
And maybe it does, and maybe that you started it this early, you're going to have kind of, the first entry into the door to try to convince Haven to go to Ole Miss. But this is nothing new. I mean, T-Bob, this was approved in April of 2022.
Yeah.
So, we're talking about going on 3 years that these high school kids could have NIL deals. This is not the first one either. Now, it's going to be kind of highlighted for a couple of reasons.
It's probably
because,
big money. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, because it's a number 3 overall prospect.
Yeah.
It's a number 1 quarterback, and it's an Ole Miss fan that's coming into Louisiana.
Yeah.
He's in Louisiana,
Into
but he's going, into Baton Rouge for Elijah Haven. And so, sure, it's going to get headlines. And, we don't know what the deal is going to be, but this is honestly, when we thought NIL, this is what I thought it was going to be in the totality of it. I thought it was going to be car dealerships. I thought it was going to be restaurants. I thought it was going to be deals like this. Now, we're completely off the rails with collectives and different things, but, this is kind of what NIL I thought originally was made up for. And so I don't know, what commercials he's going to do. I think Matt Bowers has, 12 dealerships, throughout this region.
Empire.
So,
yeah.
He's going to probably be on a billboard or two. And, it doesn't hurt Ole Miss's chances that one of their fans, I think, is he an alum? Do we know that information?
I'm not sure.
Maybe, sort of, kind of, whatever. Sure. He still roots for the Rebs. And so, can't hate on him.
In the release, they say this is, quote, a great chance to, quote, amplify his brand and further his connection with fans and local communities. They also call this deal a first of its kind. Remains to be seen how they're how they're
I know there's been
that.
high school NIL deals in Louisiana already. Now they might say first of this kind of deal, maybe car dealership wise. I don't know the certain.
There is something deeply funny. Does he have a learner's permit? Does he have a license yet?
Let's see, 2027. We're in 25. Graduated 18.
He's how old?
Soft maybe.
Oh, he is 17. Wow. Okay. So, but fresh to a license.
He's 17. Does he go to Evangel?
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
And I can say that because I'm an Evangel alum.
So either way, something to watch for. I will say this though. We talked about it. Do not get married to 5-star quarterbacks. Okay, for 2 reasons. Well, first off, maybe Larry Ellison's secret internet 5th wife, who's 40 years younger than him, comes in and for Christmas asks for the number 1 player in the nation, right? That could always happen. We learned that. But also, there's all kind of crazy numbers about 5-star quarterbacks that go to a school less than 50% of the time, finish at that school nowadays. Also, as we were talking about on the car ride over here last night, there's a lot of big-time quarterbacks in that class with ties to LSU. So it's going to be a fascinating battle to see where LSU goes, who they prioritize. Haven's still going to remain number one on their list, I would assume. But this is not some sort of skies falling, end-all, be-all. My main takeaway here is shout out Elijah Haven. Also, it's kind of crazy, man. These kids are going to be asked to grow up sooner and sooner and sooner. Like, you start striking these deals, you got to conduct yourself like a professional. You can't do what I was doing in high school. You know, you can't be putting those pictures on Facebook of you with the helmet on and the 2 beers and chugging them out of there. Like, you got to start to run a tight ship nowadays.
Yeah, we're just glad that camera phones were flip phones when you were in high school, or you would have been in some real trouble. But
we put everything on Facebook.
That's true. I guess you weren't really trying to hide it.
No, it was crazy, dude. That was before schools were looking at it and all that. Just wild.
So what you're talking about, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners know, when it comes to the 2027 class, some of the top quarterbacks, I believe it's 4 of the top 6 quarterbacks are going to have some type of Louisiana LSU tie. So you've got Nussmeier's brother. That's an obvious tie there, 2027. You're going to have Evangel quarterback Peyton Houston being in the state of Louisiana. Elijah Haven, obviously, who we're talking about here. And then also, Gunnar Rivers. His uncle, Stephen Rivers. Philip Rivers is Gunnar's father, but Stephen Rivers, his uncle who coaches him, he went to LSU. They're right actually down the road from where we're at in Fairhope, Alabama, so not that far from Baton Rouge. And so he's got a tie to LSU. So you're going to have 4 quarterbacks that have a Louisiana/LSU tie, and it's going to be a very interesting class.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So Elijah's not 17. He's 15. He is 15.
Okay, you said 17. I was
yeah.
Are you sure he's not?
No, it didn't make a lot of
on
sense
the same plane that I was on.
So he literally does not have a license, and he's going to be pushing cars. Hell yeah, dude! Football baby. That's awesome.
He's like, in a couple of years when I get my vehicle, it's going to be from Matt Bowers.
Actually, you could do some good marketing there, right? Do some defensive driving bits, or make him go to driving school or something. I could see it. I could see it. So shout out Elijah Haven, dude. Get that money, man. But we'll continue to watch our recruitment with great interest.
Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.